defense! Hey, motherfucker! Why don't you put her in charge?
You better just start dealing with it, Hudson. Deal with it because we need you and I'm sick of your bullshit.
But you're a dirty ace. Not patient.
There go the goddamn brownies.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to And Now for Something Different, when we take a break from Fans of Power to talk about something different. Now, granted, we're going to be in the same realm. We're Filmation. We're talking BraveStarr this week, but Nathan Kennedy, joined here by Tyler T-Rex Baker, the Trash Man, Frank McJohnson, Dr. D is in the house. Dusan Mitrovich is here, and the Reverend's here. Hey, James E-Talk, joining us.
Yeah.
So, what's up? How's it going? I guess I should say Joe has the sniffies. He's got the sniffles.
He lies. He's a coward. He's a fraud. A phony.
I mean, that might be part of it too, but he's not here. And then Rebecca's counting panties all night. So there you go.
Counting like the double XL panties, like they're going on sale tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah, she's doing inventory at her job.
Yeah, she said something about inventory for undies.
Yeah. So
yeah. Great job, maybe.
Hopefully it pays well, yeah.
I just picture her constantly telling everyone to fuck off at her job, you know. Like she's just put out with everybody.
How's
Peter Cullen doing? How's he doing? You all right, Peter?
No.
You should know that I am foreign.
That's all about you there, Dusan.
Let me move my condom here.
What the hell?
Because I am foreign, you know.
Just the eyes.
Yeah. See, Peter's a little put off here tonight.
Yeah.
I'll masturbate in the kitchen, and then I'll watch the Montel Williams show.
Well, that's actually kind of what Joe's doing tonight, which is why
he's not sick. He's just watching Montel Williams and having a good time in the kitchen.
I'm loving Peter Cullen's little eye movements. That's my favorite part.
I kind of wonder if anyone would catch wind of this and tell Peter Cullen, it's like, hey, we saw you on this show, and they were saying
you're out of your mind.
Yeah, they're saying disparaging.
Yeah, I've never heard you do that voice before. How come you didn't do that on Transformers? Yeah. So, Peter, do you remember talking to me a couple years ago, Peter?
You're the muscle guy, right?
That's right, Optimus.
God, Peter's voice, that's amazing.
I heard you were a real jerk toward Alan Oppenheimer.
I was. He had it coming. He was an asshole.
He's an old man, you bully.
Hey, I paid $80, hard-earned $80 for him to write a quote. He didn't want to do it.
He's 80 years old, so there.
Actually,
for $80 he can write whatever the hell I want.
Oppenheimer's 92. I actually looked it up the other day.
Well, that'll be $90 then.
Well, then I would rather give it $90. I went through this shit with Arthur Berghart too. He wanted to fight about it also.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, but the thing was, you paid extra for a specific quote. So I paid extra for a specific quote, and he still was like,
what was the quote you wanted?
It was, premature panic is the sign of an immature mind.
I don't know.
Oh, that's bizarre. Maybe too many words.
Yeah, why wouldn't Alan write that?
Well, I'm sorry. It was an 8x10. You couldn't make that, and he did. He made it work on an 8x10 of Destro and Cobra Commander. It was not a problem. He just didn't want to do it. After he got done hearing some girl bitching about wanting to be an actress. He's like, these girls out here. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Destro?
I'm glad I met him when I did.
I'm glad you did too.
I wanted to bring this up since you're bringing up Oppenheimer. I was actually looking it up, but hey, we have both Simple Tricks and Joe Amato in the chat. He can't join us.
I'll be damned
in the chat, but Oppenheimer.
Get on the podcast, Joe.
He had a fall recently, and that's
Oh,
never
no.
good when you're that old.
I know, I did hear
No.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
No.
Tyler, you need to be nicer. All right.
Hey, well, if I ever see him again, if he gets invited to PowerCon, I would gladly. Hey, you remember me? He'd probably say no. And
Wait,
Well,
wait,
why-
wait, wait,
why would
wait,
he
wait, wait,
remember
wait,
you?
wait. Alan fell?
yes, Alan fell.
Where were you when that happened?
That's what I was just about to ask.
Where was
Yeah,
I?
We need
I was
your
on top of the
alibi.
stairs.
I was at home.
No,
Right.
sure.
You were
Yeah.
at home willing an old man to fall. Like,
I was. I was pushing him around in a wheelchair, and I just dumped him out. And I said, I do it because it makes me laugh.
remember?
You
I
know.
remember
You have
hearing-
anybody to corroborate your story, buddy?
Yeah.
I mean, I gave the bum with the Joe Amato mask $5 to say he didn't see anything. He's like, okay.
Oh, so that's why he's not on the podcast.
Well, he's actually kind of covering for me, and he's the guy who's like, I saw who did it, but he was a real scrawny guy. He was kind of homeless. He kind of smelled like
Well, hell, if you,
like charcoal and lunch meat. It was kind of gross.
I know that guy. If you give him a pack of old hot dogs, he's selling you out.
Oh well, $5 buys a
Yeah.
lot of hot dogs, so I think he's good to go. Well, at least where he comes from.
No, $5 will get him 4 packs of hot dogs
That will last him about 2 months because he's
at
so
the
damn
dollar
cheap.
store because it's $1.20 something. He's gonna have to pay tax. Each
Yeah, that
one is
25 cents
$1.20
really
something.
eats his ass away.
He's gonna owe them money, so he's coming back for his change.
I'm glad I give him change, whatever it takes to get him to go away. Which is, I imagine, what like all the fast food joints are just like, dude, here, just take this, just go away, just here, just go.
You're gonna
Well, it's
feed
like-
him, and he's never leaving.
It's like at McDonald's where they have the little box for the Ronald McDonald House that's used for
Yeah,
like, premature babies and stuff. They just take it. It's like, just take this, just go.
yeah. And Joe was like, "Do I look premature to you?"
Every time.
I did
Every
ask him just
time.
now. I was like, "You sure you don't want to jump in?" And he says he's blowing his nose on and off too much.
Blow
Joe-
it live,
Joe-
you whore.
Just mute. Yeah.
I imagine Joe
Joe's a
parks in
constant
handicap spots
prematurist.
all the time too.
Ask
You guys
Jenny.
think he does that?
What is that again?
You think he parks in handicap spots all the time?
Oh, I'm
Aw.
sure. I'm sure
Yeah.
he's because you know how he makes his mask and he customizes other things. He's probably got like a handicap.
Yeah,
tag
and
that
like
he
the
made.
police show up. He's like, "Do I look normal to you?" Oh man, sorry.
Oh, poor Joe.
With the
Where's
He's
Lucha
Joe
got
from?
ass man on his license plate.
and a cake.
Here's this a simple tricks. I went on Cameo and looked for Alan. I was gonna pay him just to send Tyler a cameo and say your friend wanted me to say a special message for you, but I'm not gonna say all that.
That would be good. I would say that's pretty fucking ballsy to do that. Yeah, and I'm sure he would have no idea what you're talking about. But I do recall though, like the next day, he was set up next to the Crypt Keeper, and he would just like look at me like we're real close, and he's just kind of like looking at me as if like he was thinking I was gonna because I told him I would come back, and he's just kind of like,
Wait, like a threat? I'll be back.
no, I mean it's like you should come back, and
What do you mean? I'm an old man.
after like I gave him $80, and all he could write was like these little tiny ass signature on my 27 by 41.
Away.
What was that, Peter?
Security, keep him away.
That's a pretty good old man voice.
He calls security on you. That guy wants me to write a long ass message. Ah!
He didn't claim he had like arthritis in his hands or anything like that. There was nothing like that. I came and showed up with like,
You don't know his medical history.
well, I'm sorry, he was quite spry and making like noises at me because I was all red faced and
That
stuttering.
doesn't sound like he was well. Just sitting there going.
He was.
And you just stood there, you looked at him, and you went, "Why did you write my quote?" Whilst he was having a
that's what I did. I had sand in my vagina about it all fucking evening. That's why it was
You're
wrong.
mean.
When I went and met Flat Top, the cast of Fright Night, the weekend was just shot to hell. I just took a gun and put a bullet in the brain. That's pretty much how he sounded. That's kind of the noise that Alan was making at me when he saw how nervous I was. Yeah.
Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. No. That's not the quote.
No. Cut.
Yeah. Oh, he did. He just wrote power against power is all he wrote. I'm like, fuck.
Right down.
Power?
Power
kidnapping
against
me.
it was a quote from Evil Lynn's plot Come face me, He-Man. Power against power. I even had like the back of the VHS blown up for an 8x10, and he looked at me and said, "I can't write all that." On an 8x10. On an 8x10. It wasn't on a VHS. It wasn't on the keychain. It was a fucking 8x10. And Eric is standing right there next to me. It's like, he wasn't very nice to you, was he? No, not really.
Oh.
So it wasn't me just overthinking things. And Nathan was, I don't know, probably beating the shit out of one of the security guys or something.
No, that was. I remember we talked about this. That was the year I was just off somewhere being sad.
Yeah, that's right. He was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys will have a lovely time at PowerCon, and there will be no threatening of old men.
I hope not.
I don't know.
Unless someone comes up to our table, like the one person comes up to our table and says, "Would you mind autographing my Origins figure?" And my classics are better.
No, regardless, like some of the individuals and characters you'll meet at a convention are wonderful.
Elaborate, because I know Ren's experienced it, but like you guys,
let's hear your stories, James.
Let's hear your old stories about it, because we're virgins about all this,
Well, no, I mean, PowerCon's had its odd share of incidents here and there. It's always been a fantastic show. But yeah, there was. I remember one guy just came up to the table and just started crying, and I was like,
"To you?"
Was that
because
he's
just
traumatized,
He started crying and he was like, "Oh my god!" He goes, "I just want to tell you, I love He-Man and She-Ra." I don't think he even knew I was, and he was just like, "I love He-Man and She-Ra so much," and I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Yeah, cool, man." And he's like, "What's this?" And I was, when people walk up to the table and ask that, "What's this?" It's a book about He-Man and She-Ra that I wrote, or whatever crap I was selling at the time. Like, I'll buy this. I shat it out last week. And
it's like what? Hey man, what is that? When it clearly says right there, the unofficial cartoon guide. To
I was like, it's toilet paper, as best I can tell. But yeah, I had there was one guy who came up crying. There was another guy who was just and I'd love you guys to experience this so much. The passive aggressive experts. They're my favorites. Like one guy, there was the passive aggressive creative as well, who came up to my table, which had artwork from for Serial Geek. So I'd like to think pretty professional artists, actual professional artists. And one guy was just like, "I could do better than this." And I was like, "Okay." Then he just stood there and I'm like, "What do you want me to do with this information?" My favorite ever story, I wasn't present at this, but it was a convention in the UK. My friend Jess, she's like a comics artist, works on a bunch of UK comics. And she had a table, and a guy comes to the table, and he hasn't got the helmet on, but he's got a Darth Vader costume, right? And he's holding a lightsaber, and he walks up to her, and I think he's just like the ultimate nerd character. And he's like, "Oh, you're an artist, are you?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, I can do better than that." And she was like, "Okay." And he goes, "Yeah, I'll phone my mum. And she'll tell you." And like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
My mom's my biggest fan, by the way.
But my favorite part of the story was she goes, when he kind of smiled and laughed, which not because he was trying to tell a joke, because it was just like, "Oh, I'm brilliant." He had like this weird braces in that lit up multicolored legs. I was like, "What is that?" It's like he had a flashing mouth.
Proud, James. It's pride.
No, this wasn't pride. This was shame. That's what this was. It was. It just sounded terrible. But those kind of people, you meet so many wonderful people at PowerCon and conventions in general. But when you get those unforgettable characters, unfortunately, those are the memories that stick with you. Peter will know all about it. Peter Cullen, there, he's like, "Oh, I've experienced them all." And I can't do a Peter Cullen voice, but yeah. See, look, that's when he's met a fan with an interesting odor.
Probably having flashbacks right now.
I definitely
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
I won't tell that story. I'll tell that story off air.
I'm looking forward to someone walking up to us and being like, "Your show sucks. I can do better."
That's probably all we're going to get, though. It's just someone who's bitching about Masterverse and you need to leave Rob David alone. I'm his biggest fan. Fuck off.
Stop harassing Noel Stevenson.
Oh yeah.
What
did she do again?
That hasn't really been a thing.
He
They?
Yeah.
No.
Also, yeah.
No, he.
Yeah, you got to be.
No, it's transitioned.
Yeah, you got to be politically.
Wait, what?
About that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. I don't want to dig into that.
No, I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know Noel Stevenson had transitioned.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, now it's a show that was made by a guy. So there.
Oh, I don't feel so bad ragging on it now because it's a bloke and blokes can take the shit. So, what a bunch of horse shit, man.
I didn't know it either until we started ranting and raving about it. Anyway, they're like, "Oh no, she's changed now." Like, oh, okay. Well, I had no idea. But shows him
that guy now. We can shit on her.
What?
We can shit on him.
we don't need to talk about that show though. It's not worth the time.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not worth wasting any
like,
more energy.
We're here to talk about quality shit.
Well, it's kind of like Freddy Krueger.
Okay, we'll talk about CGI He-Man.
Yeah, that right there. That's what we're here to devote our time to here tonight.
Is it a cowboy?
What?
Peter's out of his mind here tonight.
Yeah,
it's because he's foreign.
Look at that sass on this guy. Look at the sass on that bad guy.
I don't like calling him sass. I don't like that.
All right, so see that there we go. We take that design, put it on a shirt, and then just write sassy underneath it. And
Rim will do it just for fun. Yeah.
You know that someone, whoever owns, like, is it? I guess Universal own the copyright for BraveStarr. If someone in their marketing department heard you say that sassy, they'd be like, "Great idea for a T-shirt, bright pink, text hex, rainbow colors, sassy."
Yep, sell it on 80s.
Sassy cowboy.
Yeah,
you might be right.
I might make
right next to the He-Man shirt that says "Those puppies are sick" and the Christmas party's this way and all that other stupid shit they sell on their website.
Yeah, quality.
All just because Ren had to be sassy.
I mean,
sassy Ren.
He's just giving them all the ideas.
But he's giving them trash. He thinks it's trash, but they think it's gold.
Yeah, well,
old sassy.
Some people don't have good taste, man. That's what it is. It is what it is. It's unfortunate.
I'm just like, why was He-Man the victim of that though? Like, what G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, like outside of the silly shit you see on TeePublic, like 80s tees doesn't have like the silly shirts of the other 80s properties. It was only He-Man, like Skeletor with his
VH1.
It was the hair. It was the hair, man.
No, it was the VH1 special. Remember
probably.
that one? Where they kept on hammering how He-Man is gay, ha ha ha, hordy her.
That was one of the weirdest things we had in the UK. We had in 2001 that it was just the kind of peak or start, I should say, of those I Love 1980s shows. We had the BBC did a I Love the 1980s.
I saw like the snippet on the He-Man section too.
And it was they interviewed Oppenheimer, Lou Scheimer, Robbie London. Yeah, Robbie London was there. They interviewed a bunch of people, and it was really they did like a 7 or 8 minute little section, which showed clips from a bunch of episodes, and they talked about it, and it was like, oh yeah, do you remember that show? You know, because obviously this was in the age of talking heads, and do you remember that? And do you remember when he did this? But it was all just like nostalgic. It was like a quite reverential about it. It was like, oh, I kind of like this. Then I think it was about 4 years after that, Channel 4 did 100 Greatest Kids Cartoons, and like He-Man came within, I think, the top 10. And that one was the first time I ever saw like a program or a piece, as it were, really go after the whole gay thing. And they were like, it was so pathetic because they were taking footage of He-Man from Quest for the Sword, where He-Man's holding together the thing. He jumps out of the canyon as it closes and jumps. And they just kept reversing the footage of him, like in between the canyon doing that. And they were like, he's a maniac. And I was like, that's not even funny. I always go back to the only kind of funny He-Man is gay thing was it was like 2000, 2001. And there was a real video cartoon that someone made, just a fan cartoon. And it was like a behind the music thing. And it was really very funny, like turning Castle Grayskull into a discotheque and all this. But it was at least there was craft behind it, and not much of a thought process, but there was someone who put the effort in and illustrated and did all that and animation. So it was like, oh, the effort's been put in. And then obviously what followed was just like, you know, what is the joke? And it's like, He-Man is gay. And it's like, isn't that like, I don't know, that strikes me as a little bit homophobic, dare I say? Because you're saying gay is funny, you know. I don't know, like maybe I mean I completely missed it, but I don't know, I just found it really kind of odd that started to happen and became like the thing. But you know, it comes and it goes, but then you get, you know, people that read a meme that says, you know, where Fisto says, "I'm sorry, He-Man, I failed, I tried to fist them all," and people thought that was a legitimate line in the mini comic, and it's like, do you know how easy that is to Photoshop? And then I would tell people, you know, this is fake, and they're like, no, this is how it was printed. It's like, oh yeah, of course I'm wrong, fuck off. And so there's this whole thing, and then what do you do with that? You fucking celebrate it by including that line in your show, and it's just like, why did you do that? All you did was go, when you guys took the piss out of it, we loved it. Instead of actually doing something with Fisto, you turned him into a joke that the internet had already kind of made him. Fist, oh, that's funny, isn't it? It's like, yeah, I'll fist you in your face. Oh, I've got to do it correctly. In your face. There we go.
Yes.
My name is James Talks first rant of the night.
But speaking of Channel 4, like, look at them today. What are they doing? They're making a pedophile reality program.
They've lost all semblance of any kind of quality.
They're literally filth.
Yeah, I mean,
what exactly are you referring to?
A few days ago, there was an article about how they did a reality TV show program in which they had adults undress themselves in front of kids. They tried to pass it off as educational.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it includes people that have undergone transitions, and it's like, okay, that good for you for doing that, but it's like, no, we're going to stand in front of, I think they're like maybe like 10, 12-year-olds, maybe early teens, maybe a bit younger, I don't know.
I remember even younger than that, like 7 to 12. Just fucking messed up. And
it's just like a bunch of naked people.
It wasn't just transitioned people. It was like, it was regular woman, regular man. It's like,
I think that what they're masking it as, we're celebrating, you know, bodies, like all body shapes, and it's like,
that
great, but you know,
it's a weird context of the TV show.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to talk about, because I think there was a reality show that like one of those dating things, but it's like sons and their moms are on the show.
Yeah,
so it's like, yeah.
Isn't that like something like Bravo now, one of those channels that once was great?
The
Discovery Channel.
The world's going to hell.
Fucking trash. All of it is from people singing and dancing in front of like some C-list celebrities, and you know what?
Lower than that, man.
Yeah,
but
I mean, just
see, that's the point. All those fuckers that made fun of fond memories that people have, fond beloved properties, etc. You look at them now, and they're just a bunch of monsters, and they're not hiding it at all.
Yeah,
cynicism.
Yeah,
shitheads. That's a great word.
Yeah.
Speaking of the world going to hell, dogs and cats, mass hysteria. The biggest news coming out of this week is Mattel and Hasbro enter into licensing agreement to launch Monopoly Barbie Edition, Transformers Hot Wheels, and Transformers Uno. I'm gonna go
holy
ahead and
fucking shit, man!
I'm gonna read this
Uno cars, the Transformers.
really quick. Let's see. Announced they have entered a multi-year licensing. I can't say the word agreements to create Crow-branded toys and games from some of their most popular brands. Hasbro will create Barbie branded Monopoly games launching in fall 2023. Mattel will produce Transformers branded Uno games slated for release later this year, and Transformers branded Hot Wheels vehicles set to debut in early 2024. Hasbro and Mattel are launching this collaboration against the backdrop of two major theatrical releases this summer, with Hasbro's Transformers Rise of the Beasts from Paramount on June 9th, by the way, and Mattel's Barbie from Warner Brothers on July 21st, 2023. So,
wait a minute. Why is there no mention of their biggest property ever, Masters of the Universe? Guess what, fans? It's not their biggest property.
Yeah, and they're probably, I imagine, because people were getting excited about it and like, what are they going to do? And I'm like, with Masters of the Universe, probably nothing.
They don't even know.
Yeah, they're like, do we own that?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's nice to the idea of, oh, what could you do? But in truth, I've seen like so many illustrations over the years that show Optimus Prime and He-Man together or whatever. And it's just like, okay, cool. You know, I feel like I've said, what are you going to present? They'll do like He-Man characters that transform or something, or
Yeah, exactly. Just like they've done with Street Fighter, like they've done
Ghostbusters.
with Star
Yeah.
Wars. No, Ghostbusters. They had
Did-
at least some brain right there because they did Ecto One transform into a new robot.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. But I just think, like, in terms of Mattel's the things they own and Hasbro's. Hasbro are like, oh, we've got this Transformers thing. Mattel are like, we've got this Barbie thing. I highly doubt Mattel are going, what Masters of the Universe? Could they can't even get a bloody movie off the ground? Oh no, wait, sorry, it's coming out next.
Next
year.
month.
Next month.
Yeah,
on
they're
Netflix.
filming
On
it in
Netflix. I mean,
Canada
they're
or
filming it right
something.
now.
Yeah, they cast a guy.
Actually, I was just asked. I was asked the other day ago about what my opinion is because they're apparently going to start shooting soon, and it's like, and I just said, with who? Where's anyone
one's been
else?
cast.
You only
Yeah,
cast
there's no
He-Man.
script.
There's
There's no director.
I just love the
No
idea of there
script,
being like
no
a
nothing.
sound stage in Los Angeles, and they go,
Okay,
right,
now improvise.
no, just like, right, ready, roll cameras, and there's just an empty studio, and something like directors looking around going, have we not hired anybody? And they're like, no, Mattel just said start filming, but they forgot to cast anybody. They sent out a bunch of people on talk shows to talk about being in a He-Man film, but I mean, he's like, are you even the director? He's like, no, I'm the T-boy, and you're the camera guy. We've got nobody here. But that would probably be a better He-Man film, to be honest.
Well, there you go, Tyler.
comedy.
There's your window. Just show up and be like, I'm
I'm
He-Man's here.
your fucking He-Man.
Yeah,
You know.
I'll be your He-Man. Oh, there you go. There's a line for it.
Didn't you push Alan Oppenheimer down the stairs?
Yeah, He-Man kicks the shit out of Skeletor. There we go, people. There's your move. There's your epic climax.
filmed on Joe's shitty camera.
Yeah, it's the most low budget. Mattel made nothing but pure profit because it would cost. It's fucking nothing to film that.
Is it free?
It's all free. Yeah, so Mattel just reaps the benefits.
Well, realistically, would there be anything with this cross promotion that you would like to see? A hypothetical. What is something you would like Hasbro to do with Masters of the Universe?
I know something good.
Well, like what, James?
No, that takes effort.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, if you were in control of this, what would you like to see?
Oh God, guys.
Well, I for one would like to. Now, if I was in charge, what I would do is have a what if scenario of like, what if Autobots and Decepticons crash landed on Eternia? And
I
then
don't
you
like
have
that
them
idea.
transform into attack tracks, wind raiders, doom buggies, etc. Collector.
I mean, that would make the most sense, is to take
That would make the most sense
and have them
in terms of the toy line.
Yeah,
Transformers, the Eternian Wars.
There you go.
I just don't like the idea of. I just feel like those are two properties. I just don't have that craving to see them cross over. Same thing with like He-Man and G.I. Joe.
It's just like a novelty, a trinket on the side. It's
But
not,
I see it as almost like it's like a shitty 2-pack they throw out, you know, or something like that. Just something to capitalize on the name.
If you do it with a brain, it will be more than that. But if you just fart it out like a diarrhea, well, it's gonna be crap.
Well, you know, it's gonna make this nice big bubbling sound when we all hear it because they ain't a fucking clue.
If you farted out like a diarrhea. Never heard it put that way before.
Deucen's got a diarrhea. I got to go take a diarrhea.
I think
I'll write better bios than Rob David.
I would sooner see, and that's going to sound stupid because I understand there's no probably benefit to any company doing this. I would sooner see a crossover with BraveStarr and He-Man than Transformers and He-Man.
Yeah,
like just because to me, or BlackStar.
Or how about crossover between Masters of the Universe and Star Wars?
No.
I don't know.
Good Star Wars, not Disney Star Wars.
Not Star Wars in general. No.
I'd like to see Filmation C-3PO where he walks in the shop and then walks out again. That'd be really cool. Give me that Filmation animation Star Wars style. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I feel like the crossovers have got to be like BraveStarr. There's similarities. BlackStarr, there's similarities, not just because it's Filmation. Thundercats, obviously, but I feel like
yeah, oh
outside
yeah.
of
So
that,
speak of Thundercats, like, how about we get a good Thundercats crossover?
well, of course, and it could be done so easily. I got a shit ton of ideas for that, but
What about G.I. Joe? G.I. Joe in
no.
the universe.
No,
Yeah, we
no.
Too much
the
articulation.
Human Attack Nucleus.
You know what? Whatever it takes to shut down on that. Yeah, I'll just say too much articulation, just for the sake of like, no, we can't do that. No, no.
But this you could open up the door to that idea that I'm saying, like a 3 3/4 mass universe line would be nice. Like maybe Hasbro could just do that and no crossover. Just be like, all right.
But it takes effort, Nathan.
I know.
Effort.
I know. Ren, what would you like to see? You've been awfully quiet.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but I agree with that guy. Like,
Oh my
The
God, the world
property-
is really going down the
yeah.
shitter.
Yeah,
Me?
how
Me?
about
What,
that?
Me? Who? Huh?
Me? This guy
I mean,
here?
they have to make sense. The crossovers have to make sense to me, and I know, I know, Master Universe has some futuristic aspects in there, but I just wouldn't want to see a Transformers crossover. I wouldn't want to see the Attack Track transform into a weird robot, because they would do something stupid like make Attack Track turn into He-Man. You know what I mean? Like they would.
No,
They would make
you're not
The
thinking.
toy would probably do
They
it.
would-
Hasbro
they
would do that.
they wouldn't make a new character, and that's the problem.
Ren. You're not thinking dumb enough. What they'll do is make Battlecat transform into He-Man.
That's
Yeah,
even
probably.
worse.
Yeah, that's probably.
even worse.
Yeah,
that
just
would be
all
the
all
good
that
thing.
transforming shit they would do with Star Wars and all their other properties. Like, look, Transformers is a golden idea. Never stop doing it, but you can't sit there and slap Transformers on that gimmick on, like we did it with Turtles, like transforming Turtles. Like April
Yeah.
turns into the Turtle Van. What the fuck? You
Did
know,
she?
or maybe it was Splinter. Splinter turned into the Turtle Van, but
That's
it's like, this is so
weirder.
fucking stupid. You know,
Yeah.
or Shredder turns into the
Technodrome.
driller
Technodrome.
module.
No, transport
Technodrome.
module.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, transfer
Wow.
module. I'm like, this is stupid too. You know, even as a kid when I
Yeah.
saw this is a stupid idea, and I hope relatives don't buy me this for my birthday. You know, just because it's turtles. So I don't like that.
Instead, they got you troll turtles.
I actually did not. I did not.
That
That
was
was
me.
Nathan.
That
That
was
was Nathan, not me.
That was my my uncle at my there. There's the pic. Do I still have that photo?
Have you got a photo?
He's like, I like that. He's gonna love this.
Yeah, this was back when you had to take pictures with every present you got to show how excited you were.
Yeah.
Oh, clothes.
Oh, I love that.
Now I'm actually. That's funny though, because like when you're a kid, it's like socks and underwear. But now as an adult, you're like, holy shit,
Oh,
socks and
Give
underwear.
me all the socks. I go through those
Yeah.
so quickly.
I don't know.
That sounds weird.
I don't think I have it here on my. It may have been on my old computer. It's probably sitting on a flash drive. I think I showed it off on the show before. I was actually looking up the transforming turtles, and it's.
I remember seeing them because they came in boxes. Like,
Yeah,
quite.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think I don't remember like what April turned. I love the idea of April turning into a van. It's just like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
it
I
just
may have
so
moved that.
bizarre.
She didn't turn
I'm
into the
pretty
news
sure
van or anything.
What's that?
It seems like she would have turned into the news van. The
Yeah,
Channel
that would
6
make-
van.
Yeah,
probably
but
that.
it was just such a ridiculous concept in it because the figures themselves were very blocky and bulky. So my brother had one, I think he got for a present, and it was one of the turtles, and he turned into a baby turtle, which I'm like, okay, I get that, but then like, you know, it was just such a silly concept. But yeah, they probably didn't do April. I'm probably thinking of Splinter though.
No, they did, but it's not the. Where did that save to?
I just like this shows how out the loop I am. I just seen a really nice NECA figure of April O'Neil, the movie from the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they also redid the cartoon April.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, she transforms into a cat. Yeah.
That's
But look how
it's a
blocky
separate
that
thing.
figure is on the bottom there. Look at that. I mean,
got
she's
shoulders for
bulkier than
days.
He-Man.
Here's the thing.
Oh my
That's a separate
God.
thing. That's a separate thing that from what you've been describing. That was part of subline where they had the mutator. So you had also human Bebop and Rocksteady mutate into their.
I remember seeing
forms and
those. Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
mutate, transforming a Splinter from Hamato Yoshi.
Hamato Yoshi, yeah.
Yeah.
April
Whilst
O'Neil figure for
Shredder
Mechas
transforming into
was nice.
transport module was a separate thing.
Yeah, I still didn't like them. I thought they sucked.
I mean,
That line
I
did
was,
so many weird things.
yeah, I love how
yeah.
long that toy line went on. It just got weirder and weirder. But it was amazing. It must have been one of the. Although in the UK, I don't know if
It
it's a
went to
still
like
fact.
1996.
Yeah, like I was going to say, it ran for like obviously a long time, but I still think the Transformers still has the record, because that over in the UK, that ran from the year it came out, 84,
Yeah.
85, all the way until, because when America stopped producing the toys, we got the classics, as they were called, because they were in the golden
the
box.
golden boxes.
They kept re-releasing the figures, so you'd go into the toy store and see Jazz, but at that point, unfortunately, you were like, Transformers, I'm all about Turtles now. And you could buy all these Transformers figures, and then after that, when that was kind of going away, Beast Wars suddenly kicked in. So in the UK, the Transformers had a shelf presence.
You skipped over Generation 2.
Oh, G2, of course, yeah. G2 happened, yeah. I'm seeing those and just thinking, like, look at all these wonderful neon colors. Very neon.
Very eyesore.
Yeah, imagine if they'd done that with He-Man figures, like got desperate and done a G2 He-Man, just done like very neon.
Well, some New Adventures figures went into that direction with
That's
Garrus
right.
colors.
They did, yeah, of course. Like the like latter Hydron and was it KO maybe figures?
KO's got more subdued colors. Like Spinwood has like a hot pink on his legs. I don't know. I really don't think a lot of them are like very vibrant colors wise. Like, as I'm looking at a bunch of them right now.
Yeah, because they came right at the start of the trend.
Well, no, at the start, like He-Man's like sword is neon green, but his colors they're not. I mean that right there.
Of course not that figure, but yeah, I think it was the Hydron the variant.
Well, like this one. Is that what you mean?
Oh, God.
That guy's coming out every week, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. Randy, can you put him on a T-shirt for me?
Just a moment. See, that was a predecessor to the Down syndrome Barbie.
Oh my God!
What do you mean Down syndrome Barbie?
No, James, why? Why?
They just released.
All right. Anyway.
I love how Jason did that deliberately. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on. This is also on pre-order as well. If you want to go ahead and nab
or care.
Yeah, I think they're sold out on Mattel Creations website, but you can go to Big Bad and pre-order.
Oh, that's the Origins one.
Do what, Ren?
I said, is that the Origins one?
Yeah.
It says it is, right?
Yeah.
That's a decent price for that.
That's what I was about to say. That's a good price. Like, I don't care for Origins, but if I was a fan of Origins, that's a relatively respectable price.
Yeah.
What does it look like? Oh, so it comes with. I like the cage on the inside, or like the gateway. It's the same gate.
Trap over the moat and
Skeletor's throne. It's the Filmation throne.
The Filmation throne. Yeah. Remember that crap cartoon that nobody talks about?
Yeah. Yeah, not interested. I mean, but I mean, it's not bad. I will say it's not bad compared to what they've done with all the other.
I like the fact they've given it that kind of the silvery hue as well on the certain things. I always did like that about some Snake Mountains.
A few extra details thrown in there. So how come they don't do that with the figures? How come Clawful looks like a fucking Muppet?
Does Clawful look like a Muppet?
Hey, dude, his face. It's like.
But he looked like that since ever.
Oh, bullshit.
No, it's true because he looks like a joke.
Look at this. Look at that. Does that look like a fucking Muppet to you? No.
He doesn't look like he's been Dr. Teeth.
No, that looks like badass to me. That's badass.
Hanna-Barbera.
It's a Muppet.
It is not a Muppet.
It's a Muppet.
You're just being an
oh my God! Yeah, I see.
Look at that. He looks like a Muppet. I mean, can you imagine, like
Jim Henson's down below. Like an animal. He does look like an animal.
Sesame Street right now, bullying people.
It's an abomination. It's an insult to the character, and it's an insult to me.
I mean, it pales in comparison to Filmation version.
Well, I love that version too, but you can't sit there and tell me why do the quality's all over the place with this line, which is one of the reasons I hate it so fucking much. They put effort into one thing, and then all the others it's like they went out and hired some other.
How dare you? That's awesome.
fucking
Why did
that.
you get that? Why, Ren? Why?
And you're
Huh?
supporting the whole Keldor thing, man. You can't do that.
Because it was on sale at Target.
So
It
scrap.
was for the 2-piece. It was $7, and I was like, you know what? I need the cape. I'm gonna use it for something else.
See,
'Cause,
he's using it for customization.
All right, well, why didn't he say that? He didn't say that. He's like, look what I bought. Like,
Well,
he
he's
was so
doing that
proud
to
to
piss
let
you
us-
off. That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
Put
'Cause
that in the
my,
trash, man.
My original Skelly has his cape on, but I had gotten that from someone else. But I figured I'll do it.
Hey,
I'll do a
Ren,
custom.
Ren.
Mm.
You know what you could do with that head?
Uh-oh.
You could do a custom version of Prince Baron from Star Comics issue 11.
Oh, that's actually a good shout.
Send me pictures.
All right, I'll do it later.
Yeah,
That's a
send
really
me
good
Mean,
shout.
with later means just a few minutes. So, yeah.
Yeah, Juicing operates on an entirely different
Yeah.
spectrum of time.
that's
than we
absolutely
do.
fine with me because I actually used the heads and stuff for some customs. I might have one up there. If I see it, I'll show you guys. If not, no.
I don't know why. As Ren was looking there, I was like, yeah, where I can't really see it. I'm like trying to look up on the shelves that are on a
Well, I'm looking-
3D image. I'm like, it's up there somewhere.
Yeah. Kind of turn.
There it is.
guys.
Yeah, you've nearly got it. I forget how internet and computers work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't move
It's
that
just a
way
flat
anymore,
screen.
right?
Yeah, all you old guys over here on the show.
Old guys.
What?
Ren's like, what?
Watch
Nah,
it,
come on,
buddy.
man. I'm 23 years old.
Watch it, youngster.
This white in my beard, I do that shit on purpose, man. I dye that white.
They love it when I look old as hell.
You letting your hair grow there, Ren? Or you just been too lazy?
No, I just haven't cut it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I usually wear a hat.
No, you're good, man. I
Don't
thought we're
apologize.
working towards some.
Yeah, I thought he was
bringing
gonna have
the mohawk back.
let the mohawk grow out and it looked like Mr. T. From
I
Power
wish,
Car.
man. That should be black and white and zebra striped, and
What's wrong with
it'd be
that?
hanging over to the side like this.
Oh, dude, you could be like Zula, you know, in the Conan comics, you know. Yeah.
It would look terrible on me now.
Oh.
I promise you. I'd probably
Uh,
have a piece missing in the back.
Well, hey, I got that too, man. I've been dealing with that since my early 20s.
It'd be doing this
so.
thing. It just start and stop and then start back up again.
I'll tell
Well,
you
you
guys
get Rebecca
what.
to put like a customized like wig for you or something like that to
A
kind of
piece
fill
in
it
there,
in.
yeah.
or
Well,
something
I
like
was
that.
going to
taking a break.
suggest if Rebecca cut a little bit of her hair and Joe cut a little bit of his hair and I cut a little bit of my hair, then we could just take that and just formulate
Wow.
wigs for everybody.
Yeah.
You can't use Joe's hair because people will get lice.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we don't know where that hair's been.
Yeah,
too.
actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure
Oh.
that cheap ass Dollar Tree shampoo will kill anything. So I don't think
Anything.
Joe's
Probably
lice.
so. Yeah.
No, it's a nutrient.
That stuff's probably got anthrax in it. The dollar store shampoo.
Oh, Joe. He actually did a little new detail. I don't know if it was in the Starting Soon logo, but he added like long hair to his cartoon version of himself.
We got to update, and we got to get Ren footage. We got to get James footage, and we'll just use footage of.
I was actually I messaged Rebecca, and I think instead of doing the footage thing, we just implement more footage from other stuff, other cartoons and stuff that we like, and just make an intro with that instead of having all the. I don't know. What do you think? We'll talk about that after the show. We don't need it. Yeah, we don't need to bore everybody with that right now. But BraveStarr, Tyler, you chose this episode, and you wanted to be careful about it this time. You wanted to pick something in your mind. You're like, I want. And I kind of told you that too. I'm like, pick something that if no one's watched this show before is like a good introductory episode that's not necessarily, the beginnings or what kind of thing. So what was your mindset? Because you watched multiple episodes before landing on this one.
Yes. Good product placement there.
There we go.
I know, because we did a commentary a while back, and I picked the day the town was taken. And Nathan wasn't too impressed with it because of all the prairie people that were featured, and he got really irritated with it. And And I kind of got a little gun shy about it, but I'm like, I really want us to talk about BraveStarr. I'm like, if we're gonna do this, it needs to be like an episode that has like the impact of like the Dragon's Gift or House for Cody. Like, it transcends like the ABCs, like your standard plot. Like, I wanted Tex to make sure he's featured in the episode we do, because I thought about the episode Strength of the Bear or Eye of the Beholder or
The Price.
The Price was another one, which has another ending. I'll just say does not have a happy ending, and that's all I'll say. Unless we can delve into that maybe a little on. But this one doesn't have a happy ending. If you're watching this for the first time or don't too much, I wanted to pick something. Unfortunately, I found out this is James's favorite episode. I was told.
I'm actually going to read this message because I get a message at 12:23 today.
Oh.
Good evening, sir. Even though I'm somewhat hungover and have spent the last 7 hours
shit.
I'm hoping to be on tonight as you guys are discussing my favorite BraveStarr episode. So James, hey, let's talk about this somewhat hungover that you were when you woke up.
It was a friend.
Did you just come from church?
Yeah. Yes. I was drinking
communion.
Yeah. Too much wine and bread.
Yeah, give me more of the wine.
Yeah.
No, it was a friend's birthday. So I was at the moment I'm not living in London, so I had to travel to London, but it's the bank holiday weekend. So I travelled down on Saturday morning, and unfortunately that's the day all the soccer games are being played. So went down and it was just rammed. The trains were rammed with people. I was like, oh God. So get there. The birthday party started at 4 in the afternoon. The birthday party always makes it sound so innocent. It wasn't. And that went from 4 till, I think we left the pub because we did 3 pubs. The first was, it got too cold because we were outside and the sun was on us and it was all lovely. And then the sun went down. It's like, should we go inside? Let's go to another. So we went to another pub. The second pub was, if you can imagine, or your idea, an American's idea of what a British pub is like. It's proper dirty 1980s East End London pub, and it's got characters in. Like there's a guy with pink hair and a beard, and he's like, it's just like, okay, I'll avoid him. Then there was 2 dogs that were outside in the beer garden and just chat everywhere, and then someone sadly walked in them. Not one of our group, but I was just like, oh dear. And then we went inside, and there was this like punk band. But when they have live music there, it's like you're either going to go to watch the live music or you are going to leave because you can't sit there and chat. So we sat down. I was like, start chatting, and I was like, oh, I think they're setting up the band. And then the lead singer, she appeared, and I was like, I think I'm in love. She looked like Margot Robbie, who's obviously Barbie. There's the Mattel connection. Oh, yeah. She looked like, I described her as we were at the table and everybody's like, who does she look like? And I was like, it's like a punk Margot Robbie. It's like Margot Robbie, but with like tattoos and stuff. And he was like, oh my God, that is it. And I was like, yeah, I need to speak to her. I wasn't going to speak to her because, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was me. That was me drilling. I was mute. That's how I dance. I just dance down here.
He's giving her the whack attack. Ace of Spades by Motorhead comes on, and James just goes into whack attack right there at him.
Yeah.
Hey, I promise you, James, we'll see that again.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see that
again. But so like the band were really loud, and we were like just acting like old people. We were like, we need to leave. So we went to another pub, which is kind of like another oldie pub, and we were there playing pool and drinking. There was one of our group nearly got into a fight with some bloke. It was just like, oh, this is all kicking off.
How did that start?
I don't know, like because the group was mainly women, but there was like 2 other guys, and this other guy is quite a kind of a posh gentleman, very tall guy, blonde, and like probably I think the same age as me. And it's just like, he's very kind of, he talks like this. And he was at the bar, and then suddenly he's like, no, mate, I'm not going to fight you. I know you want to fight me. And I was like, oh God, it's all kicking. And then it's starting like the barman's going, you guys need to step back and everything. And the barman's an Irish guy, so he's like, I'll fucking ban the lad here if you don't get it. It's just like, oh, this is all kicking off.
I love this.
so they separate the that group, or like the guy who was kind of starting trouble, he gets put down. Like this is the thing, right?
Put down like a dog.
No, not put down. Sorry,
he shoot him.
He came over to our group, and obviously he sees all these attractive ladies, or maybe he saw like this dashing gentleman, and he comes over to the group, and he basically says,
"Dancing, it's like I really like your moves."
Yeah.
And he said, he goes, oh, he was chatting. He's like, let me buy you all a drink. And I was like, we don't. That's very kind, but you don't need to do that. He bought us all a drink. Then the other guy got into a fight with him. So it's just like, and so we had to accept the drinks that he'd bought us. And I felt really bad. I was like, one of our group nearly had a fight with him, and yet we're drinking his free drink here. It was like this drink is, I don't know, laced with regret or something. That was the fault.
He was wanting you to join his crew to help in this fight.
Yeah, you were supposed to help him out.
Yeah, it was really bizarre.
He was recruiting you.
I think
you should have pulled your gloves off, James, and slapped the guy in the face and challenged him to a duel with pistols out back or something.
I challenged you, so that's what duel was. It a glove slap from The Simpsons. So yeah, I was just like, so the night went on anyway, and then it got to like I think about 1:30. Should we just like head back? So a group of us got in the car, went back, and then I had to wake up. So that was 1:30. I got into bed about 2, and then at 8 o'clock I had to get up to get an 8:30 coach, and then travel. I think roughly about 5 hours by coach because the trains were a nightmare. So I'm doing the coach journey. So on the coach, and I was leaving people voice messages, and my voice was like the register was like really down here. I was like, "Hey there."
Are you raising your hand to ask a question, Rand?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being so polite.
I thought he was going to do the. We're like, oh my god, he's being beaten up.
Or he's being kidnapped right now. There's a man in my house.
What's a coach?
Oh, a coach.
A cab?
No, it's a horse. It's like a coach, like a horse and carriage kind of thing.
Like
James in a top hat.
I'm trying to think. What a coach like?
I guess like a coach on an airplane, which is like first, like it's not.
I guess Americans would call it a bus,
like a Greyhound. A Greyhound.
Yes, like a Greyhound. That's a perfect example. Whenever I get to LAX, I have to get the Greyhound.
James was riding piss hole all the way back home.
Yeah.
No, I was close.
What was the drink of choice? Are you the type of guy that's like, all right, if we were doing beer, are you just sticking with one beer?
I'm not a beer guy. Like I was drinking. What was I drinking? I at first we were drinking something called Aperol Spritz, which was very nice, very fruity. But then I went straight into the gin and tonics and a couple of shots. So I was just like, yeah, I'm good.
And then the regret came for free.
No, I was.
You drank that one.
It was one of those things where I woke up this morning. I was just like, it was less about being hungover, and more about I've got to do this journey while I'm not at 100%. And I was also, the other thing is I was carrying all my animation art pans, all my filmation pans, because when I moved out of London, we're talking about like 20 big pans, like the Problem with Power one, the Teela's Quest, House of Chakotay, all these pans that I'd left at a friend's house. I'd been meaning to pick up for a year. So I was carrying all these pans, across London, and then getting on coaches and buses with them, and just being very careful with them because I cardboard packaged them all. I'm just like, please don't get damaged, or like, please don't some dickhead come over and be like, what's in the box, mate? I'd be like, not possibly $50,000 worth of pan shells. I couldn't tell you that. Oh no, what have I done? It's just.
Oh, you want to fight?
Well, the funny thing is,
it comes out like this.
I always go back to when I was when my parents and I were living in Enfield, like where I grew up, kind of thing. We were burgled in 1999, and I
burgled.
Sorry.
What does burgled mean?
Fucking burgled.
Yeah, robbed. Your house was robbed.
I love it.
You know, a burglar, like the hamburger.
Oh. Okay. Well, what Rim says, like, burgled, as if like he didn't know what it meant either. Like, okay, so it's not just me. Like, okay.
No, I knew what it meant. It's the guy with the fucking curly mustache.
Yeah, and he had the snidely whiplash.
Yeah,
he's the one stealing James's panel scans. Twirling his mustache there. It leaves James on the train tracks all tied up.
That guy has his own soundtrack. He's like, dan.
That would be
tiptoes away.
Yeah.
That was basically exactly what happened. but when we were burgled, I just been thinking, like they took, because it was a couple of junkies that broke into our house, and they took like they took the most basic of things. Like I had a clock by my bed. They took the clock. They took my passport, which was utterly pointless to them because at the time my passport was a white guy with braids down here with little beads on the end, so you couldn't really do much with that, could you?
That was your alternate personality, Buster, right? Did it say Buster Rhymes on there?
Oh no, it was still James Eaton. I hadn't changed it. Although I think at the time my signature was like Todd McFarlane's. I'd gone for like this Etok kind of signature. Yeah, I was like, I don't know why I was doing that. I mean, I was big into Todd McFarlane in early 90s, but yeah, when we were burgled, like they took all this they did. So we've been to Canada in 1998 of August, and I bought an American a Canadian VHS player, and so I could effortlessly watch my RCA He-Man tapes.
Yeah.
They stole that video recorder, which was useless to them.
Oh wow!
And what was inside? The fucking House of Chakotay VHS release.
Oh.
So I was like, no. I mean, I had the episode obviously still on VHS.
Yeah, but nothing's like the RCA home
the
video
RCA
release.
one. I was like, gutted. I was like, oh, you stop. But the funny thing is, like I say, they didn't, because obviously burglars are just looking at the obvious stuff. They went through the cupboards and saw a box. I probably had a box of my collection was probably about 50 or 60 at the time of animation art, and they didn't take one single piece because, I mean, obviously, how do you resell that if you don't know? But you think if they'd taken that, there's the grab, there's the win. Yeah. But instead, it was like, they took a clock, and sorry, I'm not going to go for it. They took the linen basket, and it was like, why'd they take the linen basket? It was like there was nothing in it.
Degenerate burgles there.
Yeah, it's like we want some dirty pants, but there was nothing in it. It was just like, that's
the kind of shit Joe would break into and steal. People's underwear and half-eaten food, and a cat clock, some shit like that.
That Jeepers Creepers bullshit.
Yeah.
Sniffing people's underpants.
So weird, but yeah, just that was the.
I picture this whole story that James is telling us. It's like that transition of Indiana Jones in the airplane flying across the world. Like James is on the bus, and he's over in Canada. Like we're just this whole story's transition with these airplanes. And James is sleeping on the bus with his Indiana Jones fedora hat there, and the panel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I'm very much a Harrison Ford type.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been at one point. I was technically where the Ark of the Covenant was stored with all those Filmation boxes that went down many aisles.
That's what I picture when you've told that story. I'm like, that's what it must have been like. A guy's like pushing crates, on like a.
I mean, it was never that glamorous. The funniest thing was you always had to have a bottle of water outside, because what you do is you go through boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and folders and folders and folders, and within about 20 minutes, your hands were like just covered in just dirt, because it was just like stuff had just been like in the. I was just like, wash your hands, psh, right back to the boxes. It was quite the adventure. But yeah, sorry, we kind of deviated. That was just like So I was hungover this morning, but I'm okay now.
I'm trying to find a picture. Does a picture of you on your Facebook exist with you with this long hair?
That's on my YouTube
I've seen him like that. I forgot where it popped up, but I have seen him like that.
Yeah, I got my braids photo somewhere. I can try and I'll just Facebook it to you. I'm pretty confident I have it to hand.
Yeah, I want to see this.
I had braids for 3 years because I was massively into underground hip hop. I've always told the story. The first ever website I found in 1995. Like my dad came home and he was like, "I've got the internet." And I was like, "Oh, that's for weirdos and nerds." And this is late 95, so I'm just thinking like people on bulletin boards sharing hentai images and stuff like that. And yeah, my dad was like, no, you can use this search feature. So it wasn't even Alta Vista, it was something way before then. And we searched, and the first thing I searched for was this hip hop group called Souls of Mischief. And this was 95. They had a website, they had merchandise. This is 1995. Website, merchandise, lyrics, everything. I was like, oh, they're cool. And they're on the internet, so it must be okay. And then the next thing I searched for was He-Man. And then
that was the first thing I searched for.
Yeah.
AskJeeves.com. I'll never forget it.
I can appreciate it. Yeah, it's just I was just like hip hop, then He-Man, and then probably boobs. But
celebrity boobs. Sandra Bullock nude, Cameron Diaz nude, Jennifer Aniston nude. I
The
did a lot
funniest
of
thing-
searches in the mid-90s for a lot of that.
I think I remember also being like Spice Girls nude. You know,
Yeah.
it's just
It's
like,
always like their face photoshopping like some like ridiculous.
this is
like,
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've still got a video. Like my friend came around, we were filming just like silliness, just being stupid. But at one point, we were talking. I showed the camera sitting there, and he was downloading like images. He was a big fan of Prince, so he was downloading images of Maite, who was like Prince's dancer, strip muse, and wife eventually. So he was downloading images, and we're talking 76K images. And you can watch the old Netscape browser, and it's just like the images are just loading like that. It's so funny, and it's just like, oh my god, what a different world it was. But
Yeah, the last
I'm
page
trying to
when
understand.
it took minutes to load anything.
And also, I hated it at the time, but I kind of miss it. The old GeoCities aesthetic, where you go to a website and it's like, here's a badly animated GIF of something in the corner,
Yeah.
like a world spinning, or
Yeah.
email
Or
me
fire
here, and it's just-
burning or something
yeah,
like
the
that.
fire burning,
Rainbow
yes.
letters.
Yeah.
Skulls.
And a counter. You'd always have a counter.
Yes.
Look how many people have come to my website. But
Yeah.
GeoCities back in the day, GeoCities was awesome. It was like you had to sign up and you tell them what neighborhood you were in, because it was dependent on what your subject was. So mine was always entertainment. So I think, oh my god, yeah, my neighborhood was like Hollywood. I'm like, ooh, this is fancy. Meant nothing, but at the time I was like, pretty cool. Well, let me just find this.
Speaking of just embarrassing photos from the 90s, here's me playing Dreamcast wearing with Jinkos on, and I don't know what the fuck's going on with my hair here, but yeah, check that out.
Oh, look at that kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's Nathan
the
in high
freak?
school for sure.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, look at those trophies behind you.
Oh, that was just baseball stuff.
Biggest jeans
Just
ever.
baseballs.
Yeah.
Jinkos, man.
And
I'm surprised. I'm wondering when that's gonna start.
Oh, give it time, because we're so far removed from when Jinkos were popular that they could come back and everyone's like, "This is so cutting edge, man."
Yeah.
You know.
And they certainly won't give the credit to the generation that had them.
No.
Like, these are new shits. I'm like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Sorry,
Should we do a discussion on BraveStarr, or just kind of jump right into the commentary, you guys?
I leave that up to you, because there were the comments when I posted the link on our group, and I've seen in the chat too that they're like, I've never watched BraveStarr. This is my first time watching BraveStarr, so yeah, if you guys want to,
And they'll get to see how it was like on TV, because it's a TV recording.
Yeah, are we gonna put that on the screen for us to watch together, or we need to watch it on our phone separately, or whatever?
Deucin, do you think that this would be something that would trigger anything if I did play it, or?
It's on.
Well,
but I don't
without
know if
audio,
it's
it
there.
shouldn't detect it. I mean, it's not going to be across the entire screen, just part of the screen, so should be safe.
I
can try it.
All right,
do it. Let the great experiment begin.
Wait, hang on, James sent me.
And bear in mind, this is when they were first done. They got longer.
Oh boy. James, I think you and I would have hung out back then. I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. There you go.
What the freak!
It
looks like he's like a lost member of Korn.
I worked in an area in London called Tottenham, which is a predominantly black area. And anybody who ever says, "Oh, you're working in Tottenham," it's like, "Oh, you must have got so much shit." It's like, no, I got offered so much weed every day. It was crazy. And because I was going into because I was massively into hip hop, I was going into all the vinyl shops trying to buy all the 12-inch singles and stuff. And so I'd go in and I'd be like, "Oh, can you play this and play that?" So I was just like known as like the white guy with braids in the area that didn't smoke weed. I was just like, "Oh no, I just have it because I like the style." But I had that for 3 years.
You ever thought about bringing it back?
Oh God, no.
Oh, come on, James.
I had them. It was so funny though, because I had them chopped off because I joined the civil service. So I'm working for the government. I've got to be short back and sides, and I literally, I think it's the first day I'm in the office. I'm sitting there, my short back and sides, and then a guy walks past my desk, white guy, big ginger dreadlocks. I was like, oh, I could have kept them. I probably couldn't have, but it was just like, it was just the idea of me like removing my braids and then just seeing this guy walk past with like massive dreads. I was just like,
I mean, James, now it's time to make up for all of that and just bring it back.
The funny thing is about this, some people that seen this photo, they're like, oh, did you always wear plaid shirts? It's like, no, I stopped after I had my braids cut. It's just like I rediscovered plaid shirts about 5 years ago. And I was like, I kind of like wearing plaid shirts. I went through this phase of
chin hairs he's got.
Oh my god, it was well actually my beard grew through quite quickly. So that I think that is actually me like having attempted a shave of some sort.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I was very my beard was very blonde back there. But yeah, it's oh, by the way, that trophy, not my trophy, that's my dad's trophy from when he used to play football. So yeah, he was like player of the season or something. Or soccer.
Yeah, look at that. All these trophies all around for sports.
Soccer for you Americans.
Yeah, soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer. Yeah, there you go.
Are you still into the underground hip hop scene?
Oh no, like I still love listening to the old stuff. Like, I've still got quite a few of the albums because like Souls of Mischief, Leaders of the New School, all that stuff. That was my favorite kind of music. But I don't tend to listen to much in the way these days of modern hip hop. I mean, what hip hop is now to me is so different to what it used to be.
Right.
Coming soon, our hip hop podcast.
I'd be down for it. Why not? As long as you just make a wig that looks like this and just wear it.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, it's some people go like, oh, you know, we all do crazy things. It's like I don't regret it. I kind of really enjoyed having braids for 3 years. Although I remember the first time I got it done, I was at the bus stop, and I turned, and one of my braids hit me, and I thought someone was. Honestly, I thought like there was a bee like by my thing. So I was like, oh, no, it's my hair, because I was so used to, like, new at it. And when I used to lay down, like initially, or when they got longer, the beads would stick in the back of my neck. I was like, I don't like this anymore. I don't like this. But that to get that first one done took, I think it was like 7 or 8 hours sitting in a chair and like just someone braiding your hair for ages. No. It wasn't that quick. It was just like, you know.
I didn't think about that either, like the noise factor with the beads. Like, I'm sure it's not super loud, but probably loud enough that it would.
It was funny when I got the short back and sides, and I was like, oh, I can feel the breeze on my ears again. That was weird, because I literally had them covered for like 3 years.
Yeah, it's always weird when I cut my hair and it's breezy, and you're just like, oh, or like when you run your hands through the back of your head, and you're like, oh wow, that
I'm
actually
constantly running my hands through my hair, like, oh,
yeah.
Just doing a bit of that.
Well, I mean, do you want Tyler? Do you guys want to talk a little bit about BraveStarr before we put on?
Do like a introductory bit.
Yeah, just like a brief introduction.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most under the radar series that came out of the 80s, like so many of them. I mean, so as we've touched on before, but it's definitely one of the most well written, well animated. I mean, the writing on the show is unfucking believable, and all the shows are available on YouTube to watch too. The movie, the entire series, is some of the most well written scripts. Some of them are like, you know, ideas and thoughts that you've seen in other shows, even in He-Man and She-Ra. But it's a crime that this show is so under the radar, but it gives us, like, you know, people like us a chance to really praise the hell out of it and kind of spread the word that, you know, Filmation did so much more than just He-Man and She-Ra. And this is one of the shows where, like, God, they just keep getting better and better. Like, in terms of the quality of the stuff they were putting out, it's unbelievable how fucking good this show is. The fight scenes, the voice acting, the stories are really good.
Yeah, and especially when they did the background for the characters, when they gave Tex his story.
Yeah.
And talked about how his hair turned white, and, you know, that he had a life, and, you know, he really wasn't a bad guy all the time, and his beginnings kind of meager. Like, it was just a really well-rounded story. Like you said, it was really good writing. And if anybody out there has not seen it, find the movie. Watch that first.
Yeah,
because the animation, it's gonna blow you away. It's gonna blow you away when he first meets 3030 in the ruins, and And when you first see him, you're like, that motherfucker is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And out of any of the cards, I really believe 3030 is my favorite sidekickish character in any of these properties. Like he's goofy and he's into himself and you know it's just freaking fun, dude.
But balanced enough that he's not annoying.
No, he's badass
dude, when he's on. Like he's a badass character, and he's like, me and Sarah Jane are gonna fuck some shit up, and he'll tell BraveStarr, like, I don't care what you say, I'm doing this. So Marshall's like, I'm the marshal, and he's like, yeah, that's cool. I'm 30-30. Like, I'm shooting some shit. You know? So that's what it is, dude. Like, you take it or leave it.
It would kind of be like Tyler, the relationship Tyler and I have. Tyler would be like the stand-up. Oh, we gotta do good, and I'd be the 30-30. I'm like, I'm gonna just shoot shit.
That's how it would be.
Yeah. I'm here to cause a ruckus
and enjoys like Deputy Fuzz.
Yes,
Deputy
Most
Fuzz.
definitely. Yeah.
Way better than Orko.
Really?
What?
Really?
I was like,
he's
what?
just starting shit. He's just all he's doing.
No, I'm serious. Like, Fuzz is way better than Orko. Like,
no.
I wouldn't go that. Honestly,
come on, man.
He's
in this episode.
I'll save it for when we start watching the episode. My thoughts.
Well, this is a perfect episode where 30-30 does not listen to BraveStarr.
Yeah, also true.
So, yeah.
All right, we'll try this out. Deucin, if anything happens and the stream gets shut
the
down.
end of the podcast forever.
I blame you.
We will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
All right.
I appreciate the name you gave it too there, Deucin.
Yeah, Tyler Baker's Space Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how the volume sounds for everybody. I kind of want us to overpower the audio.
Well, yeah, because then people at home can just watch it on their own, and I'd rather our commentary stand out as well.
Yeah. All right. Let me crank this down just a little bit. All right.